Creating good info product offers is more relevant and prominent in today's day and age than ever before. Okay. And the reason why is because there's multiple levels to like the creator economy. And with these levels, we're starting to see a propel in different infrastructures that are making certain things easier than seriously than ever before. And what I mean by this is like layer number one, or I guess layer number zero, is like what should I sell in the first place, which is what we're going to be covering in today's video. But layer number one, for an example, getting attention has literally never been easier than it is in today's day and age. But by extension of that, you have a saturation of products being sold, right? And so to put this into perspective, Kylie Jenner, her last like 3 businesses have all completely collapsed. They haven't done very well outside of her like primary one, the makeup. Same with Kim Kardashian. And you notice like many years ago when Michael Jackson was alive, he was considered famous, right? It didn't matter what hotel he was at. If his name got brought up and people started to find out that he was there, there were hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people standing outside of his hotel waiting for him because he was famous. And now in today's day and age, there are so many people that are famous that, like I said, these celebrities, these S-tier celebrities are struggling with business. Right? Because there's so many people that are famous. By extension of that, there's so many people that are selling the similar things. And so getting attention, whether it's from Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Threads, Twitter, Facebook ads even, all of these things are so easily accessible that attention isn't as valuable as it once was. And now we go into like layer number 2, we have monetization rails. We have WAP, Kajabi, Gumroad, Circle, Discord, School. There are so many different platforms that you can host digital products on or host info products on that make it overtly accessible to anybody, which then by extension of that saturates an industry, right? Then you have layer number 3 and 4, you have payment infrastructure and then hosting. So payment infrastructure has been a massive shift over the last few years. I mean, trying to sell anything info product wise 5 years ago was incredibly difficult. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, it was so incredibly difficult because payment infrastructure was so horrible. You didn't have fan bases. You didn't have Easy Pay Direct. You didn't have, Stripe, even for an example. You did have Stripe, but one dispute and your Stripe is getting shut down. In today's day and age, there are a lot of alternatives that you can use for payment infrastructure, right? Hosting, etc. All of these things are so much more easily accessible by the masses, which causes like almost a saturation. And I've seen this in many industries where for the longest time, a single course had the potential of doing millions of dollars. And then this, extrapolated into, coaching and one-on-ones and mentorship, etc. And as all of these things are becoming to, be more prominent and accessible to everybody is selling something, which is saturating the actual offer. There's now thousands of people selling fitness offers or fitness coaching or whatever it may be. And so like going back to layer 0, which is what should I sell in the first place, is now the most important piece of all of this. Because if you were somebody who really didn't know what to sell, but you had attention, you could make money, right? If you were somebody that didn't really know what to sell, but you had attention and you had, a place to host your course or a payment infrastructure or something similar, you would make a lot of money. It didn't matter what exactly it was that you were selling if you had the attention. But now there's so many people have attention, so many people have monetization rails, so many people have payment infrastructure, so many people have hosting for all this. So it's dialing down back to, what should I sell in the first place? And so when we want to make a really good info product offer, one of the frameworks I really like to follow is like one, being incredibly niched. Okay. So like for an example, like body transformation, there's 1.5 million people that can solve this like quote unquote problem for you. Okay. There's a lot of people that can solve this problem, just straight body transformation, right? Anybody who has any degree of fitness protocol, fitness experience, who have transformed their own body can teach you this. Okay. But then there are hundreds of thousands of programs that are body transformation. Okay. And so you don't really stand out. It means that when somebody goes to buy your program, when they look at your program, for an example, they are now going to be cross-referencing your product with every other product in the market, right? And there's going to be thousands of these. And even more prominent because there are so many creators and they all have the same amount of attention, right? And so there's a lot of competition. It's not like this person's significantly more famous, so I'm just going to, agree with them. I'm going to go with theirs. It's like so many people have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of followers that are selling body transformation. They all have the same amount of credibility. They're all IFBB pros. This is a very saturated market. And so now you have to niche down. And so what is your creator, or what is the face of your product? Like, what is, let's say, face of company, what is their unique, what makes them unique? And like, this is kind of a loaded question, but at the same time, this is step one to starting to narrow down or niche down to essentially kind of get rid of as much competition as you can. And so like, let's say for an example, what's unique about your creator is predominantly they focus on glutes. Okay. So then you're not going to make a body transformation program, right? Because that's incredibly saturated. But the amount of people that are doing glutes predominantly is significantly smaller than the people that are doing body transformations. And so now we need to extrapolate this a little bit further just to like really narrow yourself in your own market. It's like glutes, but what is your unique way of solving this problem? Okay. And so if this is like, 10 to 20,000 steps, 10 to 20,000 steps per day, and then X workout, that's like unique. Then this right here is a unique mechanism for achieving this thing, which by extension is a significantly more unique offer than just a body transformation. Because now I have confidence that this person is going to be able to solve my exact problem that I'm facing, opposed to this person just promising to transform my entire body, right? Let's say my number one goal that I'm trying to focus on is my glutes. But the problem with that is everybody's selling body transformation. So I don't really know if they focus on glutes, right? It seems like they put a lot of time into abs. But now I know that this person specifically is a professional. This person's unique way or unique offer is glutes, and by doing this very specific way, which gives me a almost counteracts anything else that I've tried in the past, and that's why this should work now, right? Because I've tried this, but it's failed because they just don't focus on the thing that I really am focused on. But I've never tried a program that's specifically on glutes that is telling me to do 10 to 20,000 steps and doing this unique workout. Okay. Now, this is one piece of the entire thing. Now, let's say this is like info product. Okay. As we all know, info is not info anymore. Okay. Info is extrapolating very fast, and the primary focus of info is now software. Okay. And so how do we extrapolate on this and make this an actual compelling offer? This is just one phase, right? Is narrowing down and niching down with a unique mechanism of solving a unique problem that people have. Okay. Well, now we say, okay, what are all of the limiting beliefs that I'm going to have surrounding, one, either me learning from you about getting glutes, and two, this 10 to 20,000 steps unique mechanism. This is new. I haven't heard of this before. Okay, so first and foremost, well, one, face of company is authority or credible to teach you about glutes because she's an IFBB pro, or because take a look at her glutes. There's your authority. Now, you're going to have a lot of limiting beliefs. Yes, this worked for you, but how do I know that this is going to work for me? Okay, well, it's going to work for you because this right here is scientifically proven. If you do 10 to 20,000 steps, then you pretty much burn off majority of the calories that you eat day to day. So you can actually eat whatever you want and still get desired outcome, right? How do I decrease or increase certainty, increase likelihood of achievement, decrease the amount of time, effort, sacrifice that I have to put into this? And like, so you're going to have a lot of limiting beliefs. Well, in as whole, you're going to have a lot of limiting beliefs, especially with like fitness as a whole. You're going to have, well, I just don't like eating. I don't like dieting, right? Dieting is really difficult. I'm not going to diet because, well, that's super surface level objection, right? Or limiting belief. And so we need to dig a little bit deeper, and we need to say, well, I don't like dieting because I can't find this stuff at the grocery store, and I don't want to just eat chicken every day. And so we're going to handle both of those limiting beliefs with bonus programs, right? So number one is I'm going to custom tailor your entire meal plan on Amazon Whole Foods. I'm going to send you the share link, and then all you need to do is press order, so you don't need to go to the grocery store. You're going to save time, and you're not going to have to look through the grocery store to try and find the thing that you need to get. And then number two, I'm also going to give you my anabolic cookbook that showcases some of the best meals I've ever had that you honestly wouldn't even believe that you're eating on a diet, right? You could pretty much eat as many calories as you want as long as you focus on these steps. But then now you have new, now you have new limiting beliefs around the steps. Well, it's like, I can't take 10 to 20,000 steps a day because I work at home. I work at an office. And so I don't have the time to take that many steps. Okay, so how are you now going to handle that? And if that one of them is just get a treadmill underneath, if you have a standstill or a stand desk, get a little treadmill that you can walk while you work, and that'll help you get your steps in. Or two, do you have a dog, right? This will be a great time for you to build an even stronger relationship with your dog by taking him on more dog walks. So handling that limiting belief, once again, with a bonus program that's going to handle that for them, okay? And you're going to handle all of these through softwares. Now, alongside that, it's like, I just don't know what workouts to do. Okay, I don't really know that. I've never even been to the gym. Well, sweet. Using Lovable, or even Kahuna's, we have our own personal coaching platform, or even Trainerize, that is a tailored workout regimen specifically for you, with videos on exactly what you need to do, pictures of the actual workouts, video tutorials, etc. And we're telling you exactly what things that you need to do through our custom software. This is how you separate like info from like kind of like where you're at now, right? We can't just sell courses. It needs to be, like these certain unique mechanisms through softwares that help solve their problems that they haven't had before. But then the problem with that is, like, let's say they've been browsing, they've done the softwares before, and they just feel like their accountability isn't there, right? They feel like the app just doesn't hold them accountable as much as it needs to. Well, what can I create software-wise that's going to help them stay accountable? Is it some kind of daily calorie intake tracking that literally shows live data of them losing weight and compares, on the front face of the app, it shows when they started, because you take progress photos from right when they start to where they're at now. Every Thursday you require progress photos, and every single Thursday when they upload it, it changes the front of the app to her most recent photo and her starting photo, right? And so she can see the progress every day that she logs into this platform. Is this the unique way of solving that accountability, that motivational, excuse? The point that I'm trying to make here is, if you want a grand slam offer, if you want a really good info offer, it's not about coaching and courses anymore. It's about having that coaching coursing program, but then handling all limiting beliefs with software, so that you can sell the software, you can sell the limiting beliefs, and then give all of the education for free. There's not really a limiting belief, typically from what I've seen, of like, do you know the information or not? 9 times out of 10, like, they know that they can see that you've done it. You have great glutes. I know that you've done it. So don't sell me on the fact that you know how to do it. That's not my limiting belief. That's super surface level sales, right? So my actual limiting belief is all of these things. And so I believe that you can do it, but these are the limiting beliefs that I have. How are you going to solve those? And I'm going to solve those with softwares, not with more information, because I know you know the information, but what exactly tangible or online tangibility software tool thing are you going to give me that's going to help me with these limiting beliefs? And that is how you actually craft a really good offer. Now, there's one thing that's really important, is like, you can't have too many limiting beliefs with too many softwares, because then it's counterintuitive to the price. If I know that you have 3 major limiting beliefs, you actually don't know how to work out, you don't want to eat this certain way, and you don't want to take these steps. And so I handle these 3 primary ones, and I tell you all of this is only $500 or $249 a month. You're going to pay it 12 months, 12-month increments annually. And I'm going to give you all this education as well for free. And I'm an IFBB pro. So I'm going to give you 10 years of experience for completely free. Or I sell you on the fact that I'm an IFBB pro, and I'm going to sell you on the information. I'm going to give you all of these tools for free. Okay, sweet. But if I handle 50 limiting beliefs with 50 different softwares, well, guess what? Well, I just paid $249 a month for 12 months. And I'm only using 3 of the 50 softwares. Like, that's, I'm getting ripped off. I'm only using 3 of them. There's 50. I paid for 50, but I'm only using 3. And so now you just counterintuitively devalue the entire price of your program. And now you actually come up with, now they actually have more limiting or more objections, right? And so you have to be very careful when you're crafting an offer that you're doing it in a way that handles the primary, not surface level, emotional limiting beliefs that this person has, handling those and only those, and not any existential ones, like the ones that actually cause people to make a shift for buying your program, right? And with that being said, that's kind of how you go about, I mean, Info 2.0, right, is definitely more software driven than it is info. In today's day and age, a course and 2 coaching calls a week just don't do it for somebody anymore. Okay. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.